Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Simple Money Guys podcast, where we make money simple for you. I'm Greg, and as always, I'll be joined by John and Ryan. Join us today as we discuss some of the most essential money tips that'll help you take full control of your financial future. If you haven't yet, please give us a follow on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at The Simple Money Guys, and please leave us a review on Apple and Spotify podcasts. It helps us a tremendous amount.
Dude, Greg, we missed you at FinCon, man.
I know. I was going to say we're back in action. We're all seeing each other again, but you two have seen each other actually in person.
I know.
For the first time, right?
Yeah, we need to do like a separate meetup and just actually meet up in person.
We'll definitely do that.
For those listening, John and I just went to FinCon in Austin this past week. It's a financial conference, and honestly, I thought it was one of the best experiences of my life. It's so great to meet a lot of the people, and I just learned so much.
Yeah, it was life-changing. I mean, to no exaggeration, like I guess one of the biggest takeaways I got from FinCon was that when you hang out with like-minded people and high-value people, it just levels you up to another, like, it just expands your mindset. It's crazy because, you know, when you're hanging out, like I'm in Cincinnati, there's not too many creators around here. And then when you go to Austin, a big city with a bunch of like the biggest creators in the industry, it just, you learn so much from them and you really get to level up. So that was one of my biggest takeaways, just surround yourself with high value people, and you're going to be forced to level up your game.
Yeah. And the relationships, I mean, in 3-4 days, I built some really awesome relationships. I know you did too, John. And we were able to, get to know each other better. But I just think the value of those connections is a lot more than the cost of that conference.
Dude, yeah, like in total, so the tickets were like, what, 200 or 300? I still owe you for the hotel room, by the way. You need to send me an invoice.
Oh, yeah.
Ryan and I were roommates for a few days. So, yeah, so for like the plane ticket, the Ubers, the hotel, like cost of ticket, maybe like $1,000 in total. But I'm willing to say like it was a 25 up to a 50x ROI just by going to that conference, because it just levels you up in ways you can't even explain, so.
I'm gonna take this up for, I think it's at least 1,000x ROI.
Wow.
So if we spent $1,000, 1,000x is $1 million. Yeah, that's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Dude, maybe. Honestly.
We'll see in like 5 years or so.
Well, look, we always say invest in yourself first, right? So that's exactly what you guys did.
Yeah, 100% agree. I was gonna say 100% agree. Like, investing in yourself is the best investment. You know, we talk about index funds, rental real estate, all this stuff. Nope. Yourself is your best investment first. It really is.
For sure. Tell me about the itinerary. How did it look? I saw a little bit on the stories, some dinners and what was it, scooter riding together and everything.
Heck yeah, dude.
That was fun.
I got to tell this story real quick. So I get off the plane in Austin. Like, this is right when I'm getting to FinCon on Wednesday. I get off the plane, I Uber over to the hotel, and not to mention I have a very, very expensive camera that I rented for the week. It was like less than $200 to rent this like $2,000 camera. It's a pretty sweet deal. So I was vlogging the trip, but it was like my baby. I wanted to make sure I wouldn't like lose it or damage it or anything, because it was a very expensive camera. So I'm focused on getting this camera. I come back to the hotel room again the very first day. I open up my bag and I'm like, all right, wait, where's my laptop? Like, I couldn't find my laptop anywhere. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, I start getting that tunnel vision, like, what is going on? Like, I'm in the Twilight Zone or something, and I cannot find my laptop. Like, my entire life is on this MacBook right now. So I think back, I was using it on the plane. I was like, oh my gosh, I left my MacBook on the plane, like on the plane coming to Austin. I thought it was gonna be like 5,000 miles away by now, but I called the plane. I was like, hey, or I called Lost and Found, American Airlines Lost and Found, and they're like, oh, like what kind of laptop is it? I explained all the details, and they're like, yeah, we have it. And I'm like, thank goodness, like thank hallelujah.
That's amazing.
That would have been a terrible start to the trip. So I ended up Ubering back to the airport, getting my laptop, Ubering back to the hotel. So that was like the start of the chaos of the week. But that was like literally the only downside, and it wasn't even like a bad downside. So it could have been way worse. But Yeah, it was.
I was like, John, where are you? I was like,
I know.
We're supposed to meet up at like 2 or 3.
I know.
It's like 5 p.m.
I know. I was running back and forth from the airport, but so basically the itinerary was like we went out to dinner, and we went to this like content collab house, which is really cool. We're full of TikTokers because that's who we usually know. So we did that. We had dinner. What are some specific events, Ryan, that you thought were really good?
I thought Topgolf and the
Topgolf is awesome.
Other I guess bar that we hung out at. I mean, they had so many creators. I think it was the BlockFi event.
Yeah.
And the Yada event. Those two. I mean, we got to meet so we're kind of in that TikTok realm, but we were able to meet a lot of the big YouTubers as well as I think a lot of the Instagrammers were. So I think these two events, like all the different platforms came together, and we're just hanging out. It was so cool, like seeing everyone there.
Where worlds collide, FinCon.
Yeah.
But the conference itself was a bust. I thought the conference sucked. Like there wasn't much value that I think that brought. I thought it was really other than running into people, which was really cool, but just going around and just being around the hotel, going to these different dinners with different people was so valuable. I thought that was FinCon, not the conference.
Yeah, absolutely. Because the conference was cool. There was a lot of great speakers, and it was cool to kind of mingle with people. But really, where the money was those like Topgolf or getting coffee in the morning or just meeting people that meeting people who were there in Austin that weren't actually at the conference. We stayed up until like 2 a.m. at this TikTok collab house, just chatting about ideas, talking about like just expanding our mindset on different things, learning new information. I think that's where the money is, not necessarily the conference.
Yeah, and just building those relationships. Now it's like, hey, I know you from social media. It's like, no, I know you. We met in real life. It's just so different now. So I thought it was really cool getting to meet a lot of these people that I already know, and then just meeting other people that I didn't know. I'm like, dang, you have 500,000 followers. Like, you're pretty popular. Like, it's just so cool to just meet all these people, and it's just a different vibe, definitely. So I thought it was awesome.
We always say networking is like a majority of it versus what you know.
Your network is your net worth, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm curious, what were some of like the most unexpected, I guess, connections or relationships that you developed, or like most surprising personalities?
Just meeting everyone. Like, what I found really inspiring is that everyone that I knew, like in social media, they turned out to be exactly how they are in real life. It's a lot of, people are transparent. Like, our group is transparent with how they present themselves. And so when I was like, I've never met Ryan in person, but when I met him, like, it just felt like I was having a normal conversation. Like, we'd been best friends forever. And that happened throughout, like, everyone I met in real life. So I was pretty glad to see that, basically everyone we met was their social media persona. No one's faking it here in our world, at least.
Yeah. It's harder to fake on video too. It really is. I think most of these people do a lot of videos. So I think I agree, 100% agree. Like, no one was, stuck up or arrogant. Everyone was just open and willing to help each other, which I thought was cool. It didn't matter how many followers they had. Like, it was just so awesome. Everyone was so chill and nice. They were human beings. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I thought maybe, like, I had some imposter syndrome going in there because I'm like, man, I'm a small fish compared to a lot of these people. And sure enough, they were just super cool and chill and nice and like just normal human beings. We just bond over finance content.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Dude, you gotta come next year, Greg, for sure.
I will.
We're gonna force you.
Okay. All right. Fair. So you said there were Instagrammers, YouTubers, TikTokers. Did the groups tend to stick with each other, or was there branching out that went on there?
Yeah, I feel like each of the groups were kind of in their own kind of cliques. They
There,
like
yeah,
kind
there
of
was
stuck
cliques for
together.
sure.
It was back to
Yeah.
high school essentially. This is the tea I really wanted.
And the other one, there were some OG bloggers. Like before
Okay.
all this social media, there were bloggers,
Bloggers,
Right.
and a lot of them
podcasters as
run
well.
very,
Yeah.
very profitable websites. What was that?
So I just said podcasters as well,
Yeah,
bloggers and
podcasters, yeah.
podcasters. Yeah.
So it was cool to just like kind of get outside of your realm and learn from all these different people that have been doing it forever. Like we're a year or two in this, right? These people have been doing it over a decade, a lot of them. So it was cool to just listen and learn. I thought that was so awesome, and most of them are just willing to share, which is cool.
And who's the biggest name there that you guys would say? I guess each of your opinions could differ, but
Do you think it was Nate O'Brien? Was he probably the had
So
the
so
most
yeah,
followers?
unfortunately, Graham Steffen and Andre Jick and a few of them, like they're a little too big
Yeah.
for FinCon. Like they're
And
just
meet Kevin.
Meet Kevin. Yeah, they're kind of like out of. They're just too big for FinCon, but
they're in a class of
definitely,
their own.
yeah, definitely. Nate O'Brien was an OG, and I've been watching his videos for 3 or 4 years now. He was a big inspiration to me, so it was really cool to meet Nate O'Brien and actually have a conversation with him. He was a really great guy. He gave me awesome tips too, and I think that's what this financial community is all about, kind of just paying it forward, helping the little guys and the little guys learning from the bigger guys. And, I tried to pay it forward to even smaller, content creators than myself. So I just thought that was a really cool community, shared values. So.
Yeah, it really
Yeah.
does feel like the finance community on social media, podcasts, everything is just generally like, I mean, there's a lot of bad, fake content out there, and just
Yeah,
like
there is.
there's a lot of bad stuff, but the real ones are just really great people, it seems like. And I know there's probably a lot of other fields where it's just so toxic, and people are really out there to cut each other's throats and
Yeah.
just get on top. But
I think those people exist, but they weren't at FinCon. I think they knew better.
Yeah,
than to show up.
there was no like day traders or people like pushing courses or anything like that. Like it was
Yeah.
legit real people, because they know like
Yeah.
this is the real deal. So it was really cool
No
to see
scummy
everyone.
insurance salesman.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I also wanted to say Mark from Better Wallet had like the most perfect tweet. I'm pretty sure it went viral too. But
Oh, yeah, it did.
yeah. He said I went to a financial conference full of millionaires, and there wasn't a Gucci belt in sight. There's no one flexing all these Gucci or Prada or whatever, Louis Vuitton. Like everyone was just very, very, calm and the stealth wealth community is really what it is. So I thought that was cool.
What were most of us wearing? T-shirt,
Polos,
and
yeah.
shorts, or
And
jeans.
shorts, yeah,
Like,
exactly.
That was literally it.
There was no flexing whatsoever, which was just
Yeah.
funny to see.
Yeah, it
I was fully
awesome.
expecting Ferraris. I was expecting John to
That's
pull
at,
up in a Rolls
That's
Royce.
at con conference. That's at
Yeah.
the con conference at the Fin conference.
Yeah. There's probably
Yeah.
going to be a day trading conference. I fully imagine that'll get started or something, and that's going to be the antithesis of what
Yeah.
FinCon was.
Rented Lambos and Ferraris. Those are for sure what's going to
Just for
happen.
pictures. There's going to be a section with just cars for pictures, not
Yeah.
even anyone's car.
Did you see David Dobrik's video where he was like filming a video in a private jet, and then he gets up and walks out, and it's just like a little studio room
Yes, I saw
people
that.
can
Yeah.
rent
Yeah.
to go take pictures inside private jets. I was like,
That's funny.
That's social media summed up in
Yeah.
30
Yeah.
seconds.
It was
Although
literally
the
just a
thing is,
studio.
David Dobrik, I'm pretty sure could actually afford his own private jet.
Right.
But I mean, he's an interesting one for sure.
I also wanted to say,
Go ahead.
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I was able to see Ryan's 2008 Honda Accord. I got to ride in his Honda
fun.
Accord. Yeah, so
It runs pretty nice for an
that's
08, right?
dude.
Yeah.
It was great. Yeah, I feel like that's what most people are driving too. So it's just so funny how we really built this community as. It's that that financial community that we all love to hang out with. So.
Mhm. It's so funny seeing like I listened to a conversation for like an hour about people debating whether like would you get a nice car? They're like like these are multi-millionaires. I'm like I don't think I want to spend that money. I'm like that's pretty cool. I'm like I definitely am going to get a nice car in the future, but it's cool to see them think about it and brainstorm like just different things. And I just thought that was interesting, like super frugal people.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon from Investment Joy, that guy is super frugal. He's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. He's a big name. And that was cool to meet him. I mean, he's one of the biggest people that was there, and he was like super chill and nice. And
dude, that story when we were riding in his in his car, he was like, "Yeah, they wanted to charge me $30 for parking, but I just parked in this gravel parking lot for $6." I'm like, "Man, you really are frugal, like debating over $6 or $30 parking." And he's like, "No, I'm not frugal. I'm cheap. Like I am cheap." This dude runs like 10 businesses as a multi-millionaire. It's just funny to see him debating over $6 parking. So
I know so many doctors that are the same way, just so frugal, and we'll listen to music in the operating room and it'll be on Pandora and suddenly commercials come on. I'm like, you probably make $4 to $5 million a year on a bad year, and you can't even pay for Pandora.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Okay, that's just, at that point, it's like, come on, dude. Like, there's no reason for you to be that cheap.
Yeah. I mean, but they do have everything else for some reason. They have the house, they have the cars. I guess Pandora is where the line is drawn for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll never understand.
I pay for everything ad-free. Like, Hulu ad-free. It's seriously the best. Like, why would you...
ads. I really hate ads.
But it's funny because, like, on Hulu, it's like you pay $5 extra a month, and you don't have to sit through 5 minutes of ads every 10 minutes. Like, but yeah, FinCon is awesome. Like, seriously, life changing. We gotta meet up before then, and then like definitely let's do FinCon as a group next year.
For sure. Yeah. Dude, it'd be awesome. Epic to do like an in-person podcast, see how that works out with all of us.
That'd be sick.
That would be really cool. But then also, if you guys are interested, there's it's a financial independence conference in Cincinnati I went to last year. It's called Economy, but it's a really great conference as well. But I'm pretty sure, Mr. Money Mustache is there. Mindy Jensen and her husband from Bigger Pockets are going to be there. There's going to be a lot of big names. So
nice. Are you going?
Yeah, I'm going. It's in Cincinnati. Yeah, and when is it? It's in November. If you guys are interested in that at all, hit me up. You got a place to stay, and we can figure something out. So
okay, cool. Yeah, that would sound interesting.
But are you going to BP Con this weekend?
I'm not going to BP Con. No, it was too quick of a turnaround. I think it would be cool to go, but
maybe next year.
Yeah, maybe next year. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, so lots of great conferences in the future and upcoming and everything. But I guess that about wraps us up for this week. Anything else you guys want to touch on from FinCon?
Again, just my biggest takeaway is to just surround yourself with high value people. Like, if you surround yourself with millionaires, odds are you are going to become a millionaire yourself. So just make sure you know who you're spending your time with. Don't hang out with losers or anything like that. No, but just make sure you're surrounding yourself with high value people, but provide value to them as well. Don't just hang out with them and be a leech and suck all their information. But you want to provide value to them, and they'll help you out as well. So that's kind of my biggest takeaway. Mm-hmm.
I think we've brought up the quote. I don't remember who it is exactly, but it's essentially you are the average of the 5 closest people around you. So if you surround yourself with successful people, you're going to be successful.
Yeah, exactly.
And I also like the point to don't just surround yourself with very successful people and bring no value, because no successful person wants that around them.
Right.
But I guess that wraps us up for this week. As always, we are the Simple Money Guys, making money simple for you. I'm Greg, also known as the Daily Investor.
My name's John at Johnny Finance.
And I'm Ryan, the Money CEO on social. Thank you so much for joining us this episode, and we'll see you again next episode.
Thank you everybody for listening. As always, give us a follow on Instagram at The Simple Money Guys. Subscribe to us on YouTube, and be sure to tune in because we have new episodes coming every week.